Hi guys, this is just an impromptu thing here. We talking about contemplating the idea of quietness, stillness, where you can be still and move. If you look at when cats attack the prey in the jungle, how they're still the predators, but they move and they are still and they have their focus, their mind is very cool. You could see that they know exactly what they want, they know where to go and when to attack. But instinctively the prey also knows when to move.
The
You have to
prey.
chase
The prey.
the prey. You have to chase the prey. And it depends on how good the prey is to defeat the hunter. But I see what a lot of the hunters do is they chase the prey the, to to get them tired, and that's when they attack because when they're fresh and got their faculties all together, but then the prey as it moves is trying to get away, but at the same time the a smart prey will start to focus on well how he's gonna outsmart this. Because if you notice some of these prey, is only one of them. But sometimes you need five, six lions or tigers to take them down, or hyenas. So then, there was a movie one time about the lion of the desert, and his name was Omar Mukta in one of the Middle Eastern countries. And then it was occupied by Mussolini and Germany. They wanted to. But this guy was a school teacher, and he gave the teaching up eventually, and he started to become a revolutionary writer. It was, and for 20 years, these big armies, sophisticated armies, could catch him. But in one of the attacks, he lost his glasses, so he couldn't see. So that's one of the ways that they were able to get him because he couldn't see. But it's always a big bully trying to take you down. So if you defeating the weak is just a part of inflating the ego to brag about, but you beat up something that's very inferior to you, don't even have 1%, a fraction of 1% of your strength or togetherness. And then look how many of you. So, so it's like trying to catch a fly. So I remember one time in Kendo, there was this king, and his opponent was a young warrior, and some dispute they had, and the young warrior wanted revenge, but the king was say, "Well, look, I'm old now, I don't fight anymore." But the king looked at this young guy and knew right away that, well, one, I'm not fast enough, I'm not strong enough. So to only beat this guy is by wits. So then he said, "Do you know how to cut the head of a king off?" And in that moment of thought, the guy cut his head off. So with the pry, how is his job is to outwit the hunter. Sometimes they can even turn back on the hunter. Because some of these prides turn back on lions and tigers and gouge them with their horn or with their hoof, kick them, fling them up in the air, you know. And then you look at that part, and then you look at the human being. So, are we hunted or are we the hunter? In a lot of ways, we're hunters more than being a prey. But what are we hunting? So, for me, if I want to challenge somebody, I want to challenge the best of the best, even if I'm not there. So
Even if you're defeated, you mean?
yeah, so it's like this: are you willing to take a licking? But I'll take a licking if I can get the respect of
The
the
predator.
hunter. Okay, you want to catch me? I'm gonna let you catch me, but taste some of what I got. So I'm gonna run. So as much as you're trying to tire the prey out, the prey is trying to tire you out too. Because the annihilation of the hunter would be as severe if the hunter was fresh. But the hunter is just getting as tired as the prey. But how much stamina and endurance do you have? Because if I was to fight you, I would take you into the middle of the deep blue seas. But the thing is that you want to be able to see to come back. It's one thing getting into the middle of something, but do you have the stamina and endurance to come back? So even if you defeat the person or the thing, well, what is it going to do for you? Sometimes it runs to your head, and then you should be walking away. You get yourself into another situation. So that's what this medicine does. So the bottom line is where you can come to say, well, okay, I'm going to put a glass of water here and let the water get still. So you want your mind to be still, but you want the air of the sea. So you not only do you see, but you hear everything. So your mind is on that one target, the prey.
It's funny that you keep saying that word wrong when it's your favorite word.
Prayer, pray,
Pray.
pray.
Just like pray. Just
Oh
pray.
yeah, focus on your prayer. What is your prayer?
Maybe that's why he doesn't want to say it, is because it's different.
Maybe, yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna stick with the word prayer or pray.
But now I'm confused. Now I'm so used to saying pride. It's like, is he
The
talking
thing
about-
is what you're praying for or what you're praying about. So at one time, I was to pray. I prayed for everything. I prayed for land. I prayed for money. I prayed for girls. I prayed for the whole world. Nothing happened. And then all the people in the circle start getting land, money, cars, girls, babies, and the next thing shit. So I'm out in the Midwest complaining to Karna and Peter Member and Danny Gallardo. And Karna laughed. He sit down, you know, and he said, "What are you complaining about? Um, you don't own it, and they don't own you. But go wherever you're doing, enjoy yourself. Because look, why should I be grateful? That's the stillness of the mind. Because I'm grateful. Because what? Somebody's paying for your toilet paper. Somebody's paying for the food, the coffee, the flowers, the this, the that. I'm not paying for it. Something happens, it's not my headache. But look at it as a life. You like a car, you know, you have to grease it, you got to oil it, you got to keep that machine in spick and span. So the mind and the body is a machine too. So we're this most complex atomic machine, prone to casualty, decay, disaster, all that. You got to see the decay in the being. So you have to oil it and grease it. You got to put water, you got to put vitamins, you got to go see a doctor. Maybe you need a replacement. Maybe you need a false eye, an ear, a heart. So we evolved to that point where we got parts now. We got body parts. It's a machine. We're a machine. So how we don't want to wither away like the flower. So even if the flower wither away and it comes up, it becomes earth again. So do we. So we are still. If you let the water settle, then the earth is gonna settle too. But life is strange because what are you quiet for? Why are you quiet?
To hear the rocks speak.
So those animals, they talk, they hear and they smell. These animals are so still that they can smell 2 miles coming because of the wind, and they can hear because they're in tune, and they can make sounds or movements that will alert our animals. Like human beings, why they whistle when they're walking down? Is a that mind is so still, but be, because it's so still, they get nervous or they feel in danger, so they start to whistle because something is stalking them.
It keeps bears away. Hikers will whistle and sing on the trail because it keeps the bears away.
But most likely when you stalk, when you think something is stalking you, it's you stalking you. Because do you want to embrace success, or what are you afraid of? Success. That's why. Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Because you thought about it, but you didn't do anything about it, and then they become successful, and you say, "Oh, damn." So, it's like saying, "Well, my dad would say, how did you let that monkey come in here and beat you?" So, within the ceremonies, I'm like saying, when I look at myself, as that monkey.
Did you get beat up by a monkey
Always got beaten up by monkeys.
when you were young and your dad came in and was like, "How could you do this?" Wow. I just wanted to make sure that was like a real thing that happened. That sounds cool.
Metaphorical monkeys?
Are they metaphorical or are they real monkeys?
Well, we are monkeys.
I was imagining you as like a young boy, and you're like in the kitchen, and then like your dad's out of the room, and then a monkey comes in through the window, and like starts hitting you, and like takes the bananas, and your dad walks in, and it's like you're on the floor, and the bananas are gone. That's what I imagined. I don't know. Maybe it's more metaphorical than that.
So I grew up with that mentality of this monkey. So how a monkey jumps from limb to limb and bounces. That's how still the monkeys are. Because the monkey would lure that cat up into the tree and tease the cat because he knows that, look, you can't get me. I'm up in the tree. You come on this limb, it's gonna break or you're gonna fall off. The monkey and two thumbs can hold two leaves. So how you pick, you know? So when I visualize these animals fighting, I saw some videos and stuff. But actually, when you actually live through that stage of the animal, then you start to say, oh shit, how much you don't know about ego. Because these animals are becoming just as bad as us because now it does not have what they used to eat. And we don't have what we used to eat. So then we're becoming a different species. But the more intelligent we get is the more quiet we get. That's how stupid we are. Because we're making all this noise and nothing really happening.
That's why the monks are the monks then, right? They know that?
Well, the monks are they go through a lot of torture just to be quiet. And I mean quiet. And it's hard. And it's hard for me to stay quiet. Because I always got something to say. But the thing is that I want to listen to what people got to say too. Sometimes I want to say something about you. And a lot of times it's good stuff, and I'm like, well, it's up to you to accept the good stuff. Because 99.9% of the time, people will not tell you any bad stuff about you, good stuff only. You know, and even when people yell at each other, it's because they're not still, they can't listen. They can hear their own heart. So that goes back now to the pause. And these cats, their belly is on the ground, and the speed and the preciseness and they move and the way they see everything.
All the twigs that they could step on.
And in a good, I mean, so that prey is got to figure out how he's gonna weaken this hunter because this hunter is strong. Not only is the hunter skillful in his bow and arrow, but if he gets his paws on you, you're dead. How strong are you? So the human being, the monkey, advanced elevated life, just lies a monkey, we are smarter, we're cleverer, we're just as strong as the animal. But we can't get it up in the head. But if you learn to be still and think from the waist down, the first mind, because more neurological shit going on here than up here. So it's about, well, so how that tiger, it stretches the waist, it sinks the chi, calms the mind, and it concentrates, and like that, boom, instantaneously. So why are you don't have time to gear up for something that requires an instant reaction? So if you can consistently be quiet and you get more done. Quietness doesn't mean you gotta go into the wilderness to be quiet. You could be quiet right here, and there could be a party going on over there. Because you go to a party and people all of a sudden want, oh, she's very quiet over there. She's very quiet over there. But then you don't have the balls to approach them and say hello. So the hunter is like, I'm gonna pluck it. So, but the thing is to be willing to be beaten. If you're gonna lay down, you gotta take a licking. And you could take a licking quietly too, and still. Because it's like you're never gonna put me on the ground or up below the ground. I'm gonna take anything you got.
Yeah, but once it comes down to it, making that decision to like kill somebody or not kill somebody that's hurting you, like that really fucks with the mind.
Well, the animal is saying the animal is still, but the animal is hungry, and the animal so how it feeds off ecology. Even the carcass is not going to waste. Something else is going to eat it, and then something else is going to eat that. Would just at that, and that, but at that. But we drink all of this. Every animal, every living thing on earth, even the grass, the bugs. So if you drink that water, you're drinking all the medicines in the universe. Because water gotta go to every plant, every living thing on earth. So, but stillness is where you become one with the universe. One with the universe. So right now is looking at I'm still, but she's not still. You know, I'm quiet, but she's not quiet. Well, the thing is, am I quiet? Am I still? But stillness doesn't mean you have to be. Or quiet doesn't mean you have to be like. You could still move and talk and still be quiet. Sometimes they say sneaky. Oh, he's sneaky, she's sneaky. But not everybody or everything can be like you. Or not everything could be the same. In other words, you can always have twins. So these animals, they got twin minds. But so to be a champion, you have to bring them together. But at a point where you're so still and so quiet that you can engulf the mentality of that prayer too. And you could engulf it and embrace it. Some form of a certain quietness will come on you, where you can feel it and look it, and you know that you somewhere, and it's so quick. But then when we come back, we don't remember. See, like, for example, I mean, the way I was taught is that some animals don't remember what happened 5 minutes ago. They only live on now, right now. So when they go into that mode as a hunter, they just in that mode for right now. But generally, they're not. So the human being too is not always in that one mode. But you have to have that mode, that frame of mind where you could instantaneously jump in and jump out. So it's like, how can you jump out faster than you jumped in? So that's the how. Those are the things that motivates people or things to become quiet and still, because you receive more when you're quiet and still. Because, like I said, there's all this noise going on, but then there's nothing happening. So what you want to happen? I'm hungry. I want to eat. I'm hungry. I want to do this. I want to do that, but then I can't do it without resources. So these animals are gonna go. That one animal is gonna sacrifice to feed 20 other animals. Because then the lions and the other thing and the bears and
Hyenas and the crows and the
so everybody takes turn and nibbles.
circle of life.
So how quiet are these people, because these things they're always hunting. And if they're not hunting for themselves, they're gonna help you hunt. Because if you look at all those hunters, sometimes they don't always eat. Some of them just wait, oh, he's hungry, let him eat. But he probably ate already, or they don't plan on stopping here. So the idea of still mind that's moving, the moving mind, always moving. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
No,